Okay, so we're going to continue from the previous lesson. We're in this video we're going to add animations to the text and also add audio, and I'm going to show you how I implemented the text animation and also the audio. Let me see. But first we're going to go ahead and finish the slides here. So we're going to create the title slide and slide 6 and slide 6 as well. So we're going to create a new slide again from the slide master. So new inherited scene, and let's go ahead and save this as the title. Save that, and we do not need this. Okay. Oh, well, we can't work on that because it's from the slide master, and we can't make changes with to that. All right, we don't need that right there. Let's go and move this a bit, and I need these images here. So what I'm going to do is drag them from the folder that I shared with everyone here. Let me see. So this image is one of them, and let's put that in the images folder. I think it might be in there already, but let's just double check. All right, so we need to shrink this down. Actually, you know what? Don't we? Yeah, let's replace that again like we did before. It's a lot bigger, so we're gonna shrink it down. Again, not sure if I mentioned this before, but if you hold shift while you're shrinking it, it will shrink proportionally. If you don't, you can adjust the width and height independently, but I want it proportionally, so there we go. We do not need a previous button on this one, but let's move this. Let's move that here, or actually like right here, I think. The background, it has the theme, so we're gonna create a new one. Let's go ahead, press Control A for adding a new child or new node, or you can just go press A here. And let's go with panel and put this behind the headers right there, and theme override styles, and we're going to create a new style, flat. And let me see. Let's go and increase the size here. And what did I have it here? We want it to be the same colors here, so let's go ahead and move that. Let's recent colors right there. There we go. And we do not need this background header, but it matches the background, so we're good. And we're gonna go change this to ladder safety. And right there, let me see if that's about ladder safety training. And we want to put it on a multiple lines, so we gotta go over here to auto wrap mode to Word, and then that way we can adjust this here, and this we'll say begin instead of next. And again, it's just mostly for just to check things out here, and I'm not going to be too worried about the design right now. I can fix that up later. I just want everything to work. So begin right there, and that's going to take us to the next slide, and this is, and remember to save. All right, now let's create another slide for, let me see, for this slide right here. No, wait, it's this one right here. So let me see, new slide, new inherited scene from the slide master, because we want to kind of use the same scripts and the same objects. makes it easier for us, and we are going to name this one slide 5. Slide underscore 05, and save, and your slides. All right. So we are going to, I'm going to make that disappear. The previous next buttons are okay. We need to change that image. I'm going to grab the image from here, and I believe it's this one right here. Yep. Put that there, and it is importing it. All right, so we are going to replace that image. Again, you don't have to use the one from the slide master. You can just grab this and use that as well. There's no reason, or no specific reason or to continue using it. It's just for ease of use if you want to change things later on. And now we need some text. So again, click on the root, click on plus or Control A, and we are looking for rich text labels. Well, let's go ahead and create that there, and it always goes up here, so remember that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy all of this up right here and paste it here. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is let me see what would be the best way to do this. Actually, let's go and duplicate that. Control D to duplicate a node. And for this one right here, I'm going to remove all of these except for that first one. And proper setup. There we go. And then remove that first one there. And I'm going to delete that. That's showing empty spaces here. There we go. And Control D on that and see if this works. Yep. All right. So I just Control D to duplicate, and then just pasted the new stuff in there. So what we got to do is remove this. I'm gonna Control X to delete that, and then Control D over here to duplicate, then paste over here. Kind of do the same thing over and over again. And remember to take out the extra spaces that sometimes appears. All right, let's see if we can move this over here. All right. And make sure there's no extra spaces at the end. All right, and another thing we do want is the little bullet forms there, so we want to put that BBC code enabled. And is it UL? And there we go. And we don't need the slash one at the end because it doesn't, we don't need to end it really. And make sure that BBC code is enabled. And all right, that looks kind of lined up, but let's make sure that it's good. Let's go to transform, and we want the X position, or the, I'm sorry, the position here on X to kind of be the same. So we just make sure that we push it all at the same time. That way it changes all at the same time. All right, so now we've got these here, and now we want to add a audio, some audio on here. So what we're going to do is we are going to minimize these right here. So, and I'll increase that so you can see it. And then on that files that I shared, there's an audio folder there. You can just grab the entire folder and move it in to your files here in Godot, and it should have all of them right here. So we've got all these here that you can import real easily. All right, so what we need to do is we need to add a audio player on the master controller. So what we're going to do is first Control A to add, or again the plus sign, and I'm going to put a animation player. Sorry, animation player. That's what we need right here. So this right here, once we save this, will be added to all the other slides here automatically. And what we need to do is we also need to add a audio player, an audio 2D stream player. So again, we need to add an audio stream player. Let me see. So go and click on the main root in your slide master and look for audio. And you want to select audio stream player 2D, or you can also choose audio stream player. Actually, let's go with that one right instead, because the other one is more for like 2D bit games. This one's a more better for like for what we're doing for control menus. All right, so the animation player, it's pretty easy. I would think it's not similar to like it's kind of similar to Storyline, where if you move things around, it automatically animates it. Let's go to slide 1 to kind of demonstrate that. All right, so let me see, where's we don't need that. All right, let's go with animation player. What we need to do is go to animation here, click on new animation, and click actually let's do this on the master one, because that way we don't have to always do this. A new, then slide animation, we'll name it that, and click save. And that's all you do on that one right here. And you can create multiple animations that will control different objects independently. So if you animate the text here to do one thing, you can create a different animation to animate the image, and they can play independently of each other. They're not on the same timeline. They don't have to share the same timeline, which is pretty neat. But that's a little advanced for what we're doing here. So what we need to do, okay, so it has a slide animation already on slide 1, because we created that on the slide master, and there's slide animation there. But now we need to kind of make it unique. We need to create manage animations, and then click on let me see, where is it? Oh, right here. Let me see. Let me see. There's a let me pause real quick. All right, sorry about that. All right, so I was kind of on the right track. All right, so you click on animations, manage animations. On where it says global, you go to the right, there's a little save icon. Click on make unique, and what that does is it creates or saves this slide animation that we created unique to this slide, and that's something we have to do to each of the slides. What that does is, because when you created a slide master, it shares the same animation with all of the other slides. So like if you made adjustments to this or changed the way it acts, it will affect all of them because they all share the same data. They're not independent of each other. By making it unique, you make this independent of the other slides. So you still have to do it for slide 2, 3, and 4, but that's just how it's going to work right here. All right, so we have animation, the slide animation. Now, right here are the different properties you animate. So let's say you wanted to animate this text moving up and down. We don't need this. Let's go to layout, transform. You see, when you have the animation tab selected, there are keys that show up on the different properties that can be animated. So if I clicked on next button, or actually, let me see, right here, and if you clicked on another tab, those keys disappear. But if you click on animation, those keys reappear. That means you're on the animation tab. So what we're going to do is just do a little quick test. Let's do a 5 seconds. All right, so this is your timeline right here. This is the menu options here for animation tools. This is the stop, forward, play button here, and let me see. This is where your current spot is. So if you put like 2 here, you're on 2 seconds. You can put 3, and it will go exactly to 3. And let me see. This is the autoplay on load. So that way, when this loads, it will automatically play whatever's in here. And then you can animate different properties here. We won't get into this very much. Actually, not really at all. Because what we're doing is it's really simple. This is for onion layers or onion skinning when you're doing like animation, like character animation, which is helpful. Again, we won't be getting into that. So what we want to do, we want to create maybe like a 5 second animation right now, timeline. And what we, just a quick demonstration, we want to animate the position. So what we're going to do is we're going to work backwards. So we're going to go to 3 seconds here. And we're going to key that position, and it's going to ask you create a new track for property size and insert key, which means it's going to kind of create a new key for you for kind of the default status, or the status that it will always reset to when it's not animating. We want to go ahead and click create, and if you look at animation, or right here slide animations, it has reset. So let's say if you move this down here, and you click on that, and like, oh, you know what, I want to kind of go back to the reset, and it will just reset everything. Oh, all right. So here's the animation here. All right. So let's, for some reason, size was changed. All right. So we go to 3. And let's move this back to where it was. Actually, no, it was the other one. Where's this one right here? There we go. Yeah, I am not. Why am I not able to click on this? Okay, there we go. And now let's move this back. Sorry about that. All right. So to animate this, let's go to position. Let's animate the. We wanted the final position to be there, and so we're going to click on position, and it's going to create the reset tracks, and that's fine. And then on those 0 seconds, we are going to move it down, and then press key again, and you can see that it created a key here. We don't need this one right here, the size, because we're not making changes to the size. So you can see how it moves up. And if you wanted to rotate, you click on that, and it will create a reset key for the rotate position, and then you can just move it and animate. As you can see, it whenever you press the button here, it will create a key here to what the input was in that during that when you press the key button. So let's and I want to show you this real quick. So when you press like the key button for a certain area for a certain time, and then you decide, oh, I want to move it, but then you don't press a key, it will reset back to whatever the key was. So you want to always make sure that when you're happy with a position or animation, that you do key the button or the property, or because then you'll just lose it and have to redo it again, and that way you can keep that, and you can select these, adjust them. You can also change them to, let me see, you can duplicate them, copy them. There's also an easy ease option as well here. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the keys, and that's how you can animate this. Oh, let me put the rotation back. There we go. And again, if you don't like the way the animation is, you can easily delete it by pressing delete here, and then you can reset the positions as well. And this is one way to animate it. But what we're going to need to do is also add the audio track. So what we need to do is audio playback track, and click on the plus here, and this is where you can independently like select what you want to animate. What we need to do is we need to animate the audio playback track to start playing the audio we want. So when we click on there, we add the audio stream player to the animation track. And we need introduction. So we are going to animate this here. And the easiest way is to just drag it over. And let me make sure that is, actually let's put this here and key that. Oops. Let me see real quick. All right. So we're not going to use this stream right here. I know there were some issues I was having with another way I did it, but I think this is the way that I had it to work. So well, we're going to use this as kind of what's called to a guide to where we want to animate all of our objects. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to trash this real quick after we put it kind of we want to make sure the timeline's where I want it to be at, and just trash it so that way we can do it better later on. All right, so now we need to find out how long this is, because we want the length of our slide to be the same as the length of the audio. So let me see, let's go to advanced here. Okay, and it is about 19 seconds long. So if you click on the audio up here on top, it says import. Click on the import tab and click on advanced, and you can see down here how long it is. All right, and so it's 19 seconds long. So we can play that over here. Okay, so all right, so let's listen to it real quick. You know what? Let me I don't know if I set the recording to record the audio from the computer, so I'm going to stop it real quick and make sure I fix that. All right, I think I changed that setting. So now you should be able to hear it. I don't know if you were able to hear it before.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction. This course aims to equip you with the knowledge to identify and eliminate fall hazards related to ladder use. We'll also review OSHA's ladder safety.
All right, so I'm kind of familiar with what's going on with what I need to do, but I'm going to, if you right-click on the timeline up here, you can insert a marker, and I'm going to put in the markers for the different text that I want to animate. So I'm going to put that there. Let me see. Spectre, let me see, where is it? Okay. So insert a marker for goals, and I think also the understand how to correct. And all right, so that, and this plays at the beginning. So this is one way we can do this to animate our text. We can what's called do the right here, because we want it to end. We don't want that animation to be too long. We don't want it to be take 6 seconds to just animate upwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to like about half a second. Let's see, 0.5, and we're going to key the position, and we're going to go ahead and create that reset, and at 0 we want to move it downwards a bit and key that position, so that way it moves real quick. So if we
falls from ladders,
all right, it needs to be a little bit faster. at least for
Falls
all right,
from
that's good right there. Now, of course, we don't want it to start at full opacity. We want to fade that. So what we're going to do is go down to visibility and click on modulate, and on the second keyframe, you want to so we want to key the modulation, which is the opacity. So we're going to again reset the or click the reset track, and then on that first keyframe, if you double click on it, it'll put you right on that on that keyframe. All right, select that again, click on modulate, and down here where when it brings up the color palette and color options, you want to go down to the A field for alpha, go all the way down, and then press the key function, and now it'll fade in. So you can
falls from ladders.
All right, so that way it fades in as soon as it starts playing. Now we can do the same thing for all of these. We can't copy those positions, but let's see. What I'm going to do is just to make sure that they're all kind of the same. Let me see if I can do multiple. All right, layout, transform, position, create. Let's see. All right. All right, so we're going to go back here, and we are going to move it down a bit. It'll probably be better if you actually figured out like the exact amount you are moving it by, like 25 by 30 pixels, 20 pixels. It would show up a lot more uniform that way. All right, so let's see if this works. Oh, yep, you can do all of them at the same time. And now I think what we can do is copy this. Oops. Copy and let me see, paste. Nope, I guess we cannot copy the property. Oops. All right, so but we can select all of them and go back to the first item, or I'm sorry, that first keyframe, and go to visibility. Key the full modulation or full opacity, and on the second one we can go all the way down to 0, and then key that, and it should all move up about the same. All right, so now what we need to do is we can just move these keys. Oh wait, did I did not key it, huh? All right, let's go back. So you have to make sure you key that keyframe or that property, or else you lose it and got to redo it. All right, so now that we have that done, we can move these keys to the markers that I've set up. So now that we play it from the beginning,
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction. This course aims to equip you with the knowledge to identify and eliminate fall hazards related to ladder use. We'll also review OSHA's ladder safety requirements.
There it goes. It's all animated now. Now that's one way to do that with the animation player, and it's not a terrible way to do it. You do have to make sure that you set the modulation and you set the positions, everything correctly. One thing I don't like about it though is if you decide to move it, or because it's all animated, you have to either have it all the way over here, and if you decide to move it, it won't keep that change. So if you wanted to reverse this or switch this out or move it lower to make more room, it's not going to stay. So you have to make sure that when you do animate it, it is like the kind of the final design for it. And if you click on reset, it should all be like saved to all the resets where it was. So what we're going to do is on slide animation, I'm going to move that over, and this is a different way of doing this, the animations, which I prefer because you can be a lot more free with the design. You're not like you don't have to wait till you make sure everything's perfect before you start animating it. So what we're going to do is we are going to delete all of these animations, and we are going to create some scripts, some functions, and some programming code here. So for the first one, we need to click on the attach new or existing script to the selected node. All right, and then what we need to do is we are going to name this as text animation, because we're going to use this for all of our text that we're going to be animating. And again, always I like to keep everything in the same folder. To click create. All right, so again, we've seen a little bit of this before. Where it says extend a rich text label, all it's doing is importing all the properties and functions that already exist with a rich text label, and we're going to be extending that. So just make sure that's always up there. The function ready we're going to keep, and the process we do not need, so we can delete that. So what we need to do here, we won't work on that yet because it's not the huge deal right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do a simple text fade up function, because we're going to just have it function fade up. So we're going to do function. We call that text fade up, and then don't forget the little parentheses and the colon. All right. So what we want to do is we want to move it slightly by a certain amount of pixels, and also we want to change the modulation a bit. So what we need to do is we need to store the position, the current position. So we need to do position, or actually we need to store the position here. So let me see, we're going to do a var base position, and that's going to be a vector 2. Again, we can get into vector 2s, vector 3s a lot deeper, but not for, we don't want to go too deep yet. But what vector 2 is it stores x and y coordinates. So what this does is this variable right here holds two numbers, the x position and the y position. And what we need to do, we need to store the x and y position of this item right here. So that's going to be the original position of that item, and we need to kind of store that to make sure we reference it later. So on the ready, when we do the ready, what ready does is when the item is ready, like it appears on the screen, is going to run this function all the time. You don't have to call it, you don't have to reference it. It will automatically call on it when it's ready, available on the screen. So we are going to do base position, which equals position, and we don't have to reference it because since it's attached to a node already, it knows that it's referencing itself. We could do like self, which is the node here, and position, but it's kind of automatic with Godot, so we don't have to reference it again. If we wanted to do a different label, we would have to reference like the rich text label 3 dot position, but since we just want to reference itself, that's all we need to do. All right, and we wanted to start off with no opacity. We kind of don't want it to appear when it's ready. We want it to appear when we want it to appear. So what we're going to do is go visible again, because it's referencing itself. We don't put what it's referencing, the object it's referencing, because it automatically does that. And then equals false. And also modulate, we want to change the modulation, which we did earlier with the animation. Modulate dot A, which is alpha, because there's other things you can do. You can modulate the colors like red, green, and blue, but we just want to change the alpha, and we are going to do 0.0. So let's quickly pass this right here, so that when you type in pass, all it does is just kind of says this is a function, but don't do anything yet. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to test this out real quick. So what should happen is this should not appear at all when it's ready. So let's go there. Let's go press play. And
falls
see,
from
and it's
ladders
gone.
are a major cause of serious.
All right, so now we need to add the script to change that when it's called upon. So when we want to call the text fade up script, the function, we want to change the visibility, visible right here, and we want that to be true, and then we want to modulate. Well, actually, the modulate is already 0. Let me see, and what we need to create to make it like kind of well, actually, let's leave that alone real quick. So let's just leave that visible true and to show you how we call on it through the animation layer. So we go back down here to animation player, and instead of keying these properties here, we have to key the call method. We specifically call for it through the animation track. So we go call method track. All right, let's show that again. So click on the plus, go call method track, and we need to, did this say, or the rich text label, which has the script on it, and then we add a insert key. All right, so again, the rich text label is that first one. Right click, insert key, and right here, the text fade up. We're going to call on that. All right, so let's put it right there so that way we have 2 seconds. Let's save that, and let's check out the script again. So on ready, it's going to disappear, modulate to 0, but when we call the text fade up, which hits on text on the second or 2 seconds in, it should appear. So let's press play.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction.
It's not doing it. Why not? All right, let's see. Let's see why on animation. Text fade up functions. Okay. Let me see, text fade up, and all right, let's try again.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious.
I know why. Because the modulation is still set to 0. So let's copy this. Again, it's sometimes simple things. All right, so we're gonna set this to 1 because we want it to fully appear. So it probably was there, but it was still transparent. So let's try that again. Make sure we save this. All right, so
falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatality.
So that's how we're calling on the method through the animation layer. That way, and we can animate different properties through code without having to always like be mindful of the animation player, because everything's always going to change the properties. If you move things around, you're gonna have to change the animation layer around, and this is the method I prefer when animating, simple things. If you have complex animation, animating each of the properties is obviously going to be a better choice. So all right, so we have the visible. We're changing the visible. We're changing the modulation, but we want to kind of fade it in slowly, right? So what we need to do is we need to create what's called a tween. In animation terms, it's a tween is animations between two major keyframes. It's used a lot in like old school animation when they were doing by hand. So you have like your main poses, and somebody would be the in-betweener, again, tween, and they would animate the the frames in between. So we're going to do that with this right here. So we are going to create a new var in this function. Var what's called fade tween. Let's call this tween, fade tween equals, and we're going to create a tween, create tween, and for the fade tween, we want to tween properties. So we're actually tweening properties. There's different things you can do. Tween, it shows you right there. Let's take a look at some. Oops, tween like callbacks, methods, properties, but we're going to do the properties because we want to tween the modulation, which is a property. So we want, it needs to be object. So you put in self. This is the few times where you have to actually reference itself, because you can also tween different objects that's not attached to the script. So again, and it breaks it down pretty good right here. So you want the object, the property, the node path, property or the node path of the property, the final value, and the duration. So we can put a comma, and we want what's called modulate. We need to put it in quotes. Modulate dot A or colon A, and then another comma. And now we need the final value, which we want it to be 1.0, because we want to do 1.0 because it is a float, not an integer, and you might get some errors. And how long you want it to take for the duration. So I want to put 0.5 or 0.5. All right. And now we're going to save this, and let's go ahead and preview it.
Falls from ladders are a
major
major cause
nice
of
little
serious
fade in.
injuries and
All right. Now we want it to move upwards a bit. And now we're going to have to tween that property as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to, since we already stored the position, the original position of the item under here, base position, we need to, we need to make sure we reference that in our new script. So what we need to do is we need to make the adjustments for the new position. Since it's still invisible here, we can adjust the position. Remember, we don't need to put self position. We just put position equals the base position plus the amount we want to. We can do plus or minus, but let's do plus. Let me see, plus a vector 2 again. It stores the x and y positions. Vector 2. We're doing this third option here, the x float and the y float, the x position and the y position, which they're both floats, which means that it could be any number, including decimal points. An integer is solid numbers or whole numbers. Floats are any number, like 0.5, 0.2, 0.37, 5, 6, 4, 8, things like that. So what we need to do is we want remember the x position stays is the horizontal, the y position is up and down. We want the x position to stay the same, so we put 0 because we don't want that to change, and the y position we want it to be 20. Now, why this is a positive instead of a negative? Remember, the y going down is positive numbers. So if you're at 0 and you want to go down 20, you would add 20. If you're at 20 and if you want to go up, you're actually subtracting it. It's just kind of a little bit backwards from the kind of right to left and down to up and stuff. But if you're adding 20, if you're adding numbers to the x and y position or the y position, you're going down. If you're subtracting, you're going up. X and y is if you're adding numbers to x, like if this was 20, it would go to the right. If it was negative 20, it would go to the left and basically almost off the screen. So, all right, vector position base or position equals the original position where we stored it at, where we held it at, and then we're going to be adding 20, which means it's going to be moving down, but it's still invisible. And we want to tween it upwards like we did with this with the modulation. Now we can create a new tween for it, but what we're going to do is we're going to parallel tween it. It means that we're going to add both of them together. So let me just show you what this looks like with just the position modulation. Oh no, not there. Let me see which one. All right, so I'm going to copy this and paste this right here. Tween property. We want to do position, and instead of like an actual number, we can do vectors, but we'd rather use the variable we created because that will make it more flexible. So it will be whatever the original position was plus 20, which will go down, and it'll animate over half a second. So let's go ahead and preview this.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction.
I forgot to make that and make this, or let's fade this out or comment that out just for right now, so that way it's visible.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction.
Not go up. Let me see. Fade tween power self position 0.5. Let me check that out. Tween property self position. Oh wait, you know what? Because it's exact same position it was. We actually need to put base. Oops. We want it to be the original one that we saved, the original position, not the new one that we're creating, because we're making the adjustments here. We're just saying your position equals the current position you're at right now, but we want it to be the original position, or the one we have it saved. So it should move up.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities.
Let's go ahead and make that a little bit more. Let's go with 40. And
falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential.
We see how that moves. Let's go ahead and redo this right here, and we need to add. I think we can run these two at the same time, but what will happen is that it will run one of them first, and then the second one.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential.
Let's run that again so that we can see it.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious.
What we want to do is we want to run them parallel. All right, let me see. All right. So what we need to do is on the second tween, we need to add another call method or method to it. So what we need to do is click right before or right after fade tween, right before that dot, you can add another dot and tween. I'm sorry, not tween, parallel. And then it should run in parallel now.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities.
I want it to run a little bit faster. Let's put 0.3.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in.
Quick way to animate that. Now let's. So now that we've saved this, we can actually add all these right here, add the script to all of these right here. So we got text animations here, or you can also add them to, or scripts here, text animations, and then drag them to these labels, and they should all have that script now. And if you go to your animation here, we can add call methods for each of those different nodes. So call method, and then we're gonna. I don't know if we can do. No, we can't do multiple ones. First. All right. So rich text label 3. Call method 4. Call method 5. So what we need to do is insert key for the void text fade up. Again, I'm right clicking and select insert key. And since it's a call method or function for that node, it automatically looks for the script method that you created. These down here are the ones that are built in. We don't need to mess with those. We just want to do the one that we created. So press click on open, and you can stagger this one a little bit, not too much. And then for this one, open. All right. So now that we saved it, actually let's just to make things faster, let's move these up. All right. So now that we play it,
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries
and there you go. That's how
fatalities
easy
in
it is to
residential
do that. You
construction.
don't have to mess with the individual properties of each individual node. You just add that script and use that call method to animate it. And let me see. And what's great is like you can move these over here, and it will animate it to that position.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious.
So that's kind of my preferred method, and it just makes things easier because let's say you want something different and you want it to fade to the right. I'm copying a script that I created before, and let me see. There's some things I need to change here. 20. Let's do that, or 40 actually. And 0.5, 0.3, and 0.3. Where's the base position? Let me see. Where's the looking for trends? Oh, let's get rid of this right here. All right. So what we can do is, if we wanted to fade something right, we go back to the animation, and let's do that top one right. Let's change this to. I don't know if you can change it from here. Oh, never mind. That won't work. All right. So we just delete that and then insert a new key. And oops, we need to save that script. So before it sees it. So we go enter key, and now text fade right, click open, and then when we press play,
falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential.
So that's how easy it is with scripts to animate objects. So and it can get even easier too. So if you already created the script, what you can do is make it customizable so that these numbers here are easy to change. So let's say you might want 60 later, or 40, or 20. You want to change things differently depending on the node, because if you change one, because they're all the same using the same script, if you change one, it's going to apply to all of these items. So these are all sharing the same script. So, but if you wanted to change change it independently, again, we're going to use that export var that we had, or that we used before with the next buttons. So we're going to put export var, and we're going to do distance, because that's the distance we wanted to move, and we are going to put 20. And what we can do is also put a little colon there to make it an implicit variable. That means it's going to be either an integer or a float. We're going to put 0.0 to make it a float, so that way it's a little easier on Godot, but it's not necessary. You can actually do this and it'll be fine. But this right here, this will make it so that way it has to be a float number. If you don't do that, then if a user, or if you go on later on and let me see, and put in, you could put in, like text here, and it would change to text. Oops, MC. Oops. Let me see. Where is it at? And so, well, let me see. Still change it to float, but all right. So, but it'll be easier to or make sure that it prevents errors this way. So there's the distance, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this variable, copy this, and put it where we want to adjust the distance, which is up here with the base position, and also here, because that's where we're moving it from the right. And let me see. Yeah, I think that is it. Well, another option we can do is the time. Add export var duration of the animation. Okay, we want 0.4, and let's click there, and let's replace the duration on the tweens. And let me see what else do we need. And I think that is it, but there's also other options for the tweens. You can do how the ease in, ease out. If you click on at the end of it, you can put period and set ease, and then just put ease in or ease out, in and out or out. Let's go in, and also you can set the transition of it, and let's put bounce. Okay, and did it put the other? Oops. Transition bounce. Wait, where is it at? All right. All right. Bounce. All right. Let me do that real quick. It's having some errors for some reason. Set trans. Oops. Bounce. Okay. All right, and let's copy this to here, and also here, and you can see that it should give a little bit of bounce.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction.
You saw the little bounce on the. Unfortunately, it does that also for the fade, and we don't want that on the fade. All right, so let's go ahead and let's remove the bounce. So, but you can set the different like transitions types to like add a little bounce to it, or let me see, I messed that up. All right, and so that's something you can play around with. I'm going to just leave it with an ease in and ease out.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities.
So now that we've saved those variables up here, we can change them individually. So this one, let's say duration, or you want the distance to be 40, and duration is right there. Then this one's to be 60, and let's put a full second. That way you can kind of see the difference. And 30 and 0.1 and 90. Oops, 90 and 4 is fine. So you can see how you can individualize.
Falls from ladders are a major cause of serious injuries and fatalities in residential construction.
Kind of acting a little differently. So that's how you can do it. That you can make adjustments individual for the individual components. So I'm going to go ahead and reset those. And, all right. Sorry, I had someone at the door there. Let's see. So now that you've had the like fade up, you can easily create. Just copy and paste the functions and do a fade down. So if you want something different, and all you have to do is subtract the duration. Oh, I'm sorry, not the duration. The distance. So that should be Where's it at? It did not copy that bottom one. Let me see this right here. Copy and paste. There we go. So yeah, and that's you see. So if we want to do like fade down, all we had to do is reverse the distance basically. So add a negative there. You don't have, you can also do the minus here and leave that normal, but we'll just do the negative distance. And let's check that out real quick. Let's just add that to the this right here. Let's delete that and make sure we save the script here. Add an insert key, go fade down, and
Falls from ladders are
and
a
you see how it
major
moves from the
cause of
top
serious
instead. So all because we just reversed that, and that's how easy it is. And same thing with the fade right. Change that to a fade left by changing the direction of the position. So we just do negative right there, and that's it. So now we can go to each of the other slides and change and add that script. Let me see. Can we do? No. All right. So we just add the scripts here. Actually, I think there might be an easier way. So, but let's go to slide 3, and we want to change these right here. Let's see. Actually, I think there might be an easier way. So where it says scripts, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom on the inspector tab, let's see if it works. And yep, it does. So if you just drag it over where it says scripts, it will add it to all of it. And now we have all that. So let's do all that again. So on the animation, this is slide 2. So the animation, we are going to click on the animation player, click on animation, click on manage animations, click save, make unique, because we want this animation player to be unique to this slide. And we're going to add a audio playback track, and we are going to click on the audio stream player we added, and we are going to drop in the audio we want, and we can move this around. And then we click on that audio, click on import, click on advanced, find out how long it is. So we want our timeline to be about the same length, and let's go with 16.5. all right, because I always like to give a little buffer at the beginning and the end. And now, since our labels, our rich text labels, have the scripts on that, we can add the call method track, and we want to add the rich text labels, each of the different ones. And call method, oops, and call method. All right, so now we're gonna insert a key, which will be the call method, and we want to do the text fade up. And again, insert key, text fade up. And I think you can actually copy and paste this. Let's check it out. Oh, can you? Yep, it does that. So you can just paste the animation you want, and then move it to the appropriate area of the slide line here, and then let's just test it out real quick. Oh wait, we forgot something. We forgot to put autoplay, which will automatically play the audio.
Our objectives include understanding why preventing ladder falls is vital, recognizing common hazards, and knowing OSHA's ladder regulations.
There we go.
Additionally, we'll discuss safe work.
And that's how easy it is to animate with scripts and coding. So you can move these all around, and all you need to do is just use these methods. All right, so now that we have those, and we can do the same thing here, I'll let you do that. So what about this right here? So on this, we want to animate the whole thing, not just the text label in there. We want to add the whole thing, But if you try to grab the script and put it on there, it's not going to work. Let's try it out real quick. Let's just put it on 1. Let me see. Animation player. Manage animations. Make unique. Okay. Add the audio playback. Drag the audio in there. This one's slide 4. All right. And let's just put 18. I'm not sure how long it is. Oh, close. 19. All right. And make sure auto plays on. And then add that call method. Let's see if it works actually. So it is pop-up 1, I believe. Yeah, pop-up 1. Okay, and insert key and fade up. We want the fade up. All right, and let's play it. We should get an error. There we go. So it says scripts inherit from native type rich text label, so it can be assigned to an object of type panel. So remember how I said this extends the rich text label nodes, and what it does is it extends all the properties from the rich text label nodes, all the call methods you saw earlier. So this really won't work for this because they have different functions here. So like the pop-up has controls and canvas items and nodes, and then the rich text label has rich text label and then control also. So we can't use something we created for a rich text label to be for a what this would be a control node. What we can do is go to our scripts over here. Oops, and click duplicate and put in just something generic, control animations, and press OK. And then make sure you are editing the control animations one, and then what we want to do is extend control. So this will extend all these nodes that have a control there, and that's all we're really doing is we're manipulating the properties that are under the control node, which is the layout, the visibility, all these right here. So these are shared by the rich text label as well. So it has control, it's got the visibility under canvas items and node. So you could technically use the control animations for the rich text labels, but because the rich text label script or the text animation script is specifically for rich text labels, it won't work for the other control nodes. So this one's kind of like you can use it for any of the other type of UI controls. So like the labels, the buttons here, they can all be used, or you can use control animations, the script that you just created that extends control for any of those items. So all we need to do is just add this to those new nodes, the pop-up nodes that we want, because we want to animate the entire things here, not just the text. And let's see, control animation. All right, and now we need to just do the animation. All right, so let's add a few more call methods. Pop-up 2, call method for pop-up 3, and call method for pop-up 4. All right, so now we copy that call method and paste it. Let me see. Oops. Copy, paste. Did it not work? Oh, there it goes. It went all the way to the top. It pastes where the playhead is, so that's an important thing to remember. All right, so now that we have that, let's see if we can do that. Okay, MC, so it can be assigned to control. Oh, this one was rich text label. I didn't copy that new one here, so that's all right. Now it should say control. All right, so the quick way to check is just click it on this and it'll automatically appear here. So if I went here, it automatically goes to that script, which is very handy. So right there, or you can just hover over the script and it should tell you the name of it. All right, so now let's try it again.
Falls remain the leading cause
there we
of
go.
death in residential construction, with nearly
And
half
that's
of
how you
fatalities
animate
linked to falls.
objects in Godot. And use the same script that you used before. Again, you can use this script, control animations, for the rich text labels, but the text animations only work for rich text labels, and not the other stuff, other items. And that's how you add audio to your file, and you can use this the wavelength here as an indicator of where you want it to be. I mean, that's it for this lesson right here. I think I've gone quite a bit. Again, the next part I'll be doing a lot more interactive stuff, some built-in stuff, and also some custom ones, so that we can see how to kind of think about your scripting and just make things a lot more fun.